Good afternoon, everybody. Today we are looking at volume of a cone. So we've done circles, we've done surface area of a cylinder, we've done the volume of a cylinder, okay? And now we're going to do a volume of a cone. It really goes back to our big idea of just following a formula. These formulas are recipes that someone else already perfected. Now, remember, you need to write down the formula. You need to evaluate the formula, then you need to calculate, then you will have accuracy. Do not try to shortcut the steps. It's not worth it. So the big idea between a cylinder, okay, so I have this cylinder here, and a cone, I have this cone, okay. The interesting thing about this cone and cylinder, they have the same height, okay. They have the same circle base, but the cone is obviously smaller. In fact, it's a whole third smaller. This cone is only 1/3 of this. If this filled up with 3 milliliters of water, this would only be 1 milliliter. Okay? And because of that, there's a 1/3 in the formula. Now remember, capital B means area of the base. Okay, so you have to find the area of the circle that is its base. That's why in this version it says B, area of the base, and in this version it just has the formula for the area of the base. Okay, this is the one I use 99 or more percent of the time. The volume is 1/3 of the area of the similar cylinder. Okay. Again, we're going to use our measurements for pi as requested. Let's try a couple problems. So this first one is asking us to calculate the volume of this cone in terms of pi. And over previous lessons, you've realized that that means I don't have to use anything for pi. I just leave the symbol as it is. So let's write down the formula. Volume equals 1/3 times pi times radius squared times the height. Now the fact that we have radius squared times height is what makes this 3D or volume. Okay. Let's evaluate it. Volume equals 1/3. Remember, we're doing in terms of pi, so we're going to leave that alone. The radius is 5 right here. And the height is 10. Nice round numbers. Volume equals 1/3. And now I'm going to rearrange. I'm going to put pi at the end. 5 times 5 is 25. 10 is still 10. And notice I put the pi over here just so I could work with my numbers more easily. Okay. Now, here's where you have a little bit of room. 25 times 10 is 250. I already know that. Okay. So I could do a couple things. I could do 10 times 25, get 250, and just divide by 3. Okay. So I'm going to get 83 and 1/3 pi, or 83 point, we'll call it 33 pi. Depending on how it asks for the answer, mixed number, or decimal, maybe it's a decimal rounded to the nearest hundredth. But on all of these, we're measuring in centimeters. So these are all cubic centimeters, no matter which version. Okay, all the same value, just depending on what you're using it for, what it might be in. Okay, pay attention to the directions when you're doing a practice or something. All right, well, here's another cone. Now this one, we want the nearest cubic inch. Again, we're going to write down the formula. Volume equals 1/3 times pi, radius squared, height. Volume equals 1/3. They asked us to use 3.14 for pi. Radius squared, 3.25 squared. Height, 7.75. Again, we're going to be very thankful for calculators today. Order of operations says I need to do the exponent first. So now I have 1/3 times 3.14 times 10.5625. If we get out past like 4 digits, keep it around 4 so that you're rounding at the very end. Okay? 7.75. Now, here's just some personal advice. I'm going to multiply all 3 of these and then deal with the fraction. Just easier on the calculator. Okay, so volume 1/3. Okay, 3.14 times 10.5625 times 7.75 equals, you aren't going to like this number, 257 point, okay, I'll show it to you here on the calculator. Okay, I'm just copying onto my paper. 0.384. Remember I said we could just go out 4 digits? That's fine. Now we're multiplying by a fraction with a decimal. What? So let's just divide. Divided by 3 equals, and now I'm going to use the approximate symbol because we've done some rounding. 85.6795. But remember, let me use a different color. Remember, it said nearest cubic inch. So although we have a very accurate answer here, our final answer is going to be volume is 86 cubic inches. All right, I am so proud of you guys. I cannot wait to see you in class.